This video is going to be a bit different than normal. I'm going to give a few tips that I've picked up here on YouTube in the last 6 months and hopefully help somebody else out. So I've done what I can to boil it down to about 5 tips that I can give here. Tip number 1 is going to simply be get to the content. Intros suck. People don't want to sit and be talked to for like 5 minutes telling you to go like and subscribe. They clicked on the title because they're interested in what's behind it. Give them what they're clicking for. Tip number 2 is going to be make what you want to watch. If you make a video that you want to watch, chances are there's somebody else that is interested also in that topic. And if you're the only one around that has that video, you're the only one to find in a search. This also helps out in the editing process. While you're editing, if you find any dead air moments, you can always layer in some background music to help fill out that awkward gap. Or if you're finding some of your clips aren't as entertaining as you thought they would be, go ahead and delete them and throw them into the garbage to help retain the audience. For number 3, I'm going to call this one Get Into the Trenches. This one's pretty simple to understand. Your community is your channel, so get into the comments section and interact with people, especially if you're a smaller channel. I've picked up more traction once I started commenting in response to everybody, as well as I've gone and opened up my friends chat in Runescape so that way the people that watch my content who want to seek me out have that option available. As a quick side note, if you want to contact me directly, Twitter is probably going to be the easiest way to do so. To follow up on interacting with your audience, I'm also going to say listen to their feedback and their criticisms. This is exclusively thinking of criticism like it could be more interesting if, or your audio is a little unbalanced, it's kind of hard to hear you in some places, can you increase your voice volume, things like that. Or even ideas for other videos. Just remember that you still want to use your brain because you're on the internet, so if it's a good idea that sounds good to you, it's probably good, and if it's an idea that sounds kinda dumb, just let it slide under the rug. The idea for this actually comes from a comment that was left by a channel named Rev, or That One OSRS Guy. He's doing a revenge quest on Vorkath for killing his last hardcore Iron Man on a new one. If you're interested, I'll leave his link in the description. Pretty much asking if there are any tips to provide. In the comment chain I left a few. I figured this might be an easier way to explain some thoughts as well as help somebody else out who might just be interested in making videos. Tip number 4, especially if you're starting, embrace the awkward. When I did my first couple of videos, it was odd just listening back to hearing my own voice. Let alone now, which is the second part of making this, I'm getting more adjusted to having a face cam on. Still kinda weird to edit these, and to talk into a lens. It should become more natural as we go through and I get used to it. But as long as you know that the first time you try something it's going to come out weird and awkward, just give it the try, you'll keep getting better as you practice. And finally, to finish up here, this one sounds a little bit harsh, but you are not special. If you're going into making a channel expecting to have success overnight, you are already set up for failure in that. The main key is to be active. As long as you continue to have a presence, you can think of your videos kind of as like a fishing pole. Each one is a brand new pole that you have set up and are casting out. And they're automatic resets, so every time you get a catch, it'll come in and just reset itself up for the next person. The more that you make, the more that you do, the more chances you have of being found. So that means that dedication is required if you are interested in pursuing it. And just for the end as a last bonus tip, keep it simple. Less is more. Basically a rule of 3 is pretty good to go by. For example, on a thumbnail you want a background, an image, maybe some text. In the video, don't try to overlay multiple things on top of each other. People are interested in what you're selling, not necessarily by being bombarded. That's about all I've got, really. I don't have much experience so far, but I figured I could share what I can. If you're interested in more, let me know. I have no problem to make more. Have a good day, everybody.